All right. Okay, so we're going to go through some basic fist bump training this morning. And I need to make sure that we are sharing the right screen. Give me 1 second. Sorry, everybody. Share screen. There we go. Okay, so hey, getting started with fist bump. Look, the tendency is, I believe for a lot of people, I've seen this, is to go to the Chrome extension, load it from the Chrome store, and go straight into LinkedIn and start adding people. And that's an okay place to start. The only thing that you're missing at that point is being able to customize your workflows or customize your list. And that's what I think is most important. So when you're in fist bump, on your left side panel here, we're going to go to list. And as you'll see, I already have a bunch of lists created. There's some really simple features in here. You've got the buttons, the arrows up and down. This makes your list more of a priority. So it'll put them on the front end of your tasks for the day if you're worried about time. So as an example, when I come into LinkedIn today, that says I have 30 tasks. If you're looking at that going, gosh, I don't have time for 30, I only have time for maybe 10 or 15 today. What it's going to do is, as you move a list up, it makes it a priority and it puts those tasks at the front end of your task for the day. So I think it's just a really cool way of being able to do that. We did get the feedback the other day to be able to drag and drop these to make it faster. That's coming. But for now, you just kind of punch the arrow along and move them to the priority level that you want them to be. And that'll influence where they lie in your daily tasks. Now, with lists, this is extremely important because this creates your workflow. We've got pre-created workflows for you. So if you go to list and you click on create a list, we have 3 workflows that are pre-created. And then we have a 4th option that allows you to completely customize your own workflow or settings. And by the way, I may say workflow, I may say settings. They're interchangeable. What it really means is it sets the rules that is going to feed you tasks for any person that you put into that list. Hopefully that makes sense. So let me go through these. Prospecting. This comes after the last 3 years of working with teams on a prospecting program. I have the social prospecting framework. I also have the social prospecting course that you could take and get into the details of all that. But basically what we found is if you do 4 comments with a prospect before you send the connection request, and then after they accept the connection request, you just thank them for it. You send a message thanking them for connecting. And then you wait a day and you engage again. And then you have built a healthy relationship with them. So there's strategy, of course, around the way that we comment. If you haven't seen our program on discovering your commenting style, which is very empowering and helps you comment more, you should take a look at that. But basically the idea is I comment, they're not connections, right? They're totally cold and unknown. You are cold and unknown and you want to get to know them. We comment on their post activity 4 times before we send the connection request. Thank them for accepting it, and then engage with them again. And then you could decide what the next appropriate task, move them into an opportunity flow, pick up the phone and call them, whatever it is that you want. But that's prospecting. The reconnecting list, I think this is important. Our tendency is maybe you get a new job and you look through your LinkedIn list and go, oh, Bob would be perfect, but you haven't talked to Bob in like 7 years. You just happen to be connected on LinkedIn, but you've never really, or not recently, have nurtured that relationship. And our tendency is just to send a message and go, hey, Bob, I got this new job and oh, this would be perfect for you. And then we go, hello, Bob, because Bob doesn't return the call because, well, as any of you know me, I'll say that you smell like sales, you stink. You stink like a salesperson. And Bob doesn't want to be sold. So a reconnecting workflow is designed to help you reconnect and become known again by an existing connection prior to making a call or doing anything else. So that workflow, 3 comments, send them a message. We've got strategy built in there. Mine is usually, hey, Bob, I hadn't seen you for a while, but I keep seeing you and I commenting on the same post. It's good to see you in my news feed again. I hope you're doing well, right? That's a reconnect. Don't smell like sales, just reconnect. And then, that goes well, they respond, and then maybe you can ask for a call. And that for me is not a sales call. That's a reconnecting call. That's a, hey, let's try to add a little bit of value to this relationship call. But you all do whatever you want, but that's the reconnecting workflow that's pre-built for you. The last one's to stay top of mind. This is, maybe it was a prospective customer that wasn't ready yet. Maybe it's an existing client that you got to stay in front of before renewal time. Lots of different reasons. Maybe it's somebody that you want to go apply for a job at their company pretty soon, and you want to stay top of mind so it's not out of the blue. This is really just a very simple plan to, like, hey, these are people I want to stay in front of. I want to keep that connection strong. And so you engage 1 time per week, and it's just an ongoing continual task to engage, no other action steps whatsoever. And then build your own. It lets you just create it any way that you want. What I'm going to do for this training purposes is I'm going to go ahead and just do the build your own list so that you can see all the details that are available to you. So if I click get started, what do you want to name your list? And I'm going to say, demo list, because what else am I going to call it, right? So demo list, engagement frequency. And by the way, all the question marks tell you what things are. We've got FAQs over here in the right menu too, if you need that. But so name your list. Some suggestions on naming the list. I don't know if you noticed when I first started and I showed my screen, like some of them I call prospects, some of them I can call by company name. If you're an account-based model, like create list and call it by name. And then put everybody from that company that you're trying to get to know and nurture and build a relationship with, put them in that list. I have the list of people that I'd like to nurture because I'd eventually like them to be a guest on my show. And I have different settings or different workflows for all of those. So use list names to benefit you. There's no rules. They're your name, so you can call it anything that you want to make it clear for you. What's your engagement frequency? These are our options right now. Daily, 2 days, 3 days, 5 days, every week, twice per month, and every month. We've had a little bit of feedback on opening that up to be a bit more customizable. So that's probably coming. It might even be available by the time you're watching this, but number of engagements before the next task. So what this means is, how many times do you want to comment before it triggers your next task? That's all. So you can choose whatever you want. We limit it to 20. Like if you're doing 20 before you make a call, it's kind of out of control maybe. But so in this case, let's say maybe we want to go, we want to do this every 5 days. And I want to do 4 comments. And the next task for me is going to be send a connection request. And when I look at this is, every 5 days times 4, that's 20 days. So the question is, within a month, can we take someone who was a totally cold prospect and turn them into a healthy connection within 30 days? That means you've had a conversation with them, you're connected, you've had a conversation, and you've increased the probability that they would be open to a sales conversation before you ever ask for the sales conversation. And by the way, just on a side note, that's what we mean in the modern seller mindset of go slow to move fast. In most companies, it's pick up the phone and call and ask for the demo. We're calling cold out of the blue, and we're asking them to give us their most precious commodity, time, because we got some new thing that's going to change their world. look, I get it. And we want to think that we totally have this control and our product is totally different and they're going to love it and all that stuff. The problem is it's just not true. And that's for all of us, right? It's just not true. Buyers have all kinds of opportunities. They want to do their research. Forrester's latest data says that buyers are doing 75% of their research before they ever want to talk to a salesperson. So just sending the cold messages, the cold emails, the cold calls, not the highest probability of success. So go slow to move fast. Hey, we're going to set this in. Every 5 days, I'm going to comment. I'm going to show up in their world. They're going to see my notification that I commented, or I'm going to comment on their comments. I'm going to comment on their post, whatever it may be. And then I want a task to send a connection request. And then down here, what you can do is pre-write your standard connection request. This one in here is actually one of my templates that I use as a new. Now, when I say a template, it is just that. What fist bump is going to do is after you've commented 4 times, you're going to get a task. Let me come over here. When you click and you go, you're going to get a task. And right now my task is to comment or engage with their activity. But if my task was to send them a connection request, not only would it tell me to send them a connection request, but it actually would deliver the connection request to me right here. It would provide this for me right inside of the Chrome extension. What I highly recommend at that point is customize it. Right? Don't just copy and paste it, because then it's just generic and it kind of defeats the purpose of building relationship. But what I like to do is, hey, we seem to keep commenting and liking the same post. I keep seeing you in my feed. Maybe in this case, I would say, hey, a couple of days ago, you and I both commented on Bob Smith's post on X, Y, and Z. Why do we do that? We want to use the psychology of bringing us back top of mind. We want them to feel like they know us. We want them to feel familiar with us, so that we increase the probability that they're going to accept that connection request, and not just accept it, but accept it with a belief and a feeling that they know us, that we're somebody of value, we're somebody that they've been talking to in a digital sense. So you can edit this any way that you want. Choose your style. This was my style. What I recommend is take the strategy behind it, but tweak it to use your own words and your own voice. And then when you're done, you click Create Prospect, and your list is made. And then what you can do is go back into LinkedIn. And I just got in this habit. You guys want to do it? I always refresh when I go back into LinkedIn, just to make sure that Fist Bump has all the lists, the extension has all the lists that I've created. And then let's come in here and let's go do a search. Here's my friend John. Let's say this was a prospect of mine, and I wanted to put him into this demo list because I need to put him into this workflow. We go to their profile. You can look in here and you see that he is a connection of mine because the green box was checked. If he was not a connection of mine, it would be blank. You can always manually update it. Brings in the name of his company. And what I can do now is add him into the list that I just created and click Add Prospect. And now that he's into that list, it's going to tell me my first task is to comment or engage with with him. And because I'm on his profile right now, not a place you do it. We've got a little button right here for post. You just click on post. It'll take you right to his post activity. And what I can do, and just for this case, what I'm going to do is come in here and I'm not going to comment for time constraints, but I liked it. And what you'll notice is that Fist Bump is telling me, hey, there's no more tasks for today for this prospect because I already engaged. If I click on the history, you can see that today I had a reaction of a like, and I would simply click Next Prospect, and I would keep going down the path and the tasks that were set in front of me. So that is our basic onboarding and training. The other thing is, as you can see, you can create as many lists as you want. You can prioritize your list. There's a lot of other questions that come in. All your prospects, if you go to the left menu and click on prospects, what you can do is click on any person in here that you'd want to. Let me find somebody. Well, let me just take John since I just added him in there. What you'll notice is that I have all my activity in here. My date, I reacted to a like. Here's the URL. Here's the post. If you ever need to go through and you're looking like, gosh, I remember commenting on one of their posts, you can come in here and look. And if you click right here, it's going to take you right back to the post that you had commented on or liked. So it's very simple and easy for you to find. And by the way, all this activity, if you are using the CRM and you want this integrated with your CRM, then we can integrate this in with your CRM. And all of this activity will go straight into the customer record as an activity. And we document all your LinkedIn commenting, engagement, and messaging so that your LinkedIn activities are just as valuable as making phone calls or sending emails. And the best thing is, as salespeople, we don't have to go manually document it. We don't have to go into Salesforce and go, hey, I went and commented on John's post today. If you comment on John's post, it'll automatically go into CRM and post an activity that you did it. So, hey, everybody, fist bump. If you have any specific questions, please feel free to put them in the comments. We do the onboarding session every week, a couple times a week with live Q&As as well. So if you ever have a question, look for those live Q&As. Send a question into me or Daniel. We've got a new hire coming on pretty quick. That'll be exciting. We're growing. But look, hey, we want to help you grow. We want to help you learn to use LinkedIn as what I believe is the most powerful communication channel that we can do for sales, for customer service, for brand development, for brand growth. If you're an executive, man, you should be active on LinkedIn for your own career, but also for the benefit of your company. And we built Fist Bump and Modern Seller HQ because we really want to help companies dominate the digital newsfeed for their industry. So that's it, everybody. Thanks for being a fist bumper. Talk to you soon.